How's Twitter? Good. Very early morning, everyone. Good, very early morning. Jose wins the first. Sorry, Cyberfunk, you are second. Hey, random guy, like that name. Calmly, let's catch the falling knife, guys. Yeah, please feel free. Feel free to do so. We have some. Where's Eli with his gloves? Eli's got some catching the falling knife gloves. They're they're like chainmail. It's pretty funny. He posted those in the Slack chat, and I was like, wow, that is hilarious. I've never even thought about that. First from Finland? Probably. You are probably the first from Finland. Channel 9009, what's up, dude? How you doing? How low can you go? How low can you go? Christina, what's up, Christina? Have EOS gloves? Yeah, it could be. What's up, Dubs? Art Keto. Bebo. Ali from Vancouver, Canada. Well, hello from Phoenix, Arizona. 1:29 in the morning. So I'm not going to stay here too long, guys, but did think that I should jump on a little bit, do a little bit of a video, see what everyone's thinking, see who's catching falling knives, and generally, how did that work? Okay. There we go. That's what I wanted. All right. Australia. Egypt. Hello, Egypt. We don't hear a lot about Egypt in the States these days. How are things going over there? Croatia. Branko from Croatia. Thank you for being here. Frank can watch it for once live. Yes, you can. Not going to be here for super long. I do have a long trip to take tomorrow. Unfortunately, we'll probably be at a cell service for a good 30-40 minutes, which will be very scary. Very scary to be at a cell service, but I will be taking my iPad with me. Hopefully make a few, well, hopefully I won't make any trades and the market will stay bearish and my short will remain good. We'll have to see there. You're in Bulgaria, 9009? I did not know that. I did not know that. All right, next webinar about swing trading. You know, I've been asked that a few times. I may actually have to do that. I'll make a note of that. I've had several people ask me about swing trading. And to be honest with you, I personally believe that swing trading is the holy grail of trading. What's up, best collection of Upham? How you doing? I usually see you in the comments section. We don't really get to interact that much. I'm looking forward to talking to you, seeing if you got some questions here I can answer. Maybe you can answer my questions. I don't know. But yeah, I do believe generally that swing trading is the best way to trade. That is a personal preference of mine. I do believe that a very well-defined day trading strategy is good as well, but a very well-defined swing trading strategy will probably even be a little better than that. So, all right, let's take a look at the Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, if you guys caught my last video, we talked about the possibilities and what to do in Bitcoin. And I put a tweet out earlier today. If you guys didn't catch that, and if you don't know, you can follow me on Twitter at RealCryptoTrade is my handle. It is not real-crypto. YouTube. Twitter does not allow dashes in your name. So I had to go with Real Crypto Trade because Real Crypto was taken. So it is what it is. And I put this thing, Bitcoin is moving as tight as it has ever been. We're going to move, and I have some alerts set, not placing any orders yet. So I did not place any orders. We did watch Bitcoin move around. And it actually broke to the upside very slightly, if you did catch that tweet. It broke to the upside very slightly, and that's what I mentioned by I'm not going to take a trade because I figured there would be a throwback in one direction or another, or maybe even both. And we got an upside throwback here, and then a subsequent immediate rollover. So there you go. There you go. That's kind of how the markets work. They fake out in one direction, throw you in the other. Not too many people got got taken by this particular breakout to the upside, but hopefully a lot of people took this breakout to the downside. Now, one thing about the most recent market action, and this even goes all the way back down to the prior low we had in Bitcoin, back to this huge breakup candle, this actually was started by a massive short squeeze. Okay, most of this was not organic buying. Well, I can't say most of this. I don't know the actual numbers involved total, but there was a huge BitMEX short that was covered here that sparked this entire rally. And even back over here, many of these rallies were sparked by short covers. I know for a fact this one was, and I'm pretty sure this one was as well. I think that one was too. So I'm pretty sure, I know this one was, but I'm pretty sure most of those were from short rallies as well. So this was not organic buying, ladies and gentlemen. This was all basically not really reversion to the mean, but something from that perspective. Something, a return, a return. Basically, when you short something, you're borrowing Bitcoin from someone else, and then you sell it on the open market. And then after you sell it, you have to give it back to the people that you borrowed it from. And when you're covering your short, that's exactly what you're doing. You're buying Bitcoin and handing it back to the original owner. So while yes, this is buying in the market, it's buying that only occurs once. They're not accumulating a position, and that's what leads the market vulnerable to these rollovers. All right, Zach has an interesting question. What happened to the 6th of the month pattern where the trend changes? I have a possible theory about that. So the 6th of the month over here in April, right here was the 6th. And you could have said the same about this one, right? What happened? This was not a definitive swing in the market. Well, I still think it was a very significant candle. Sorry, I'm addressing someone in the Slack chat room here. All right, so this is a very significant candle, even though the volume wasn't very big, but this 6th thing has really worked out over the past 6 months. This was the first higher low, and the low of this entire period after this bottoming candle. So while in of itself, it is not a super important candle in terms of volume, in terms of price level, it did form a higher low. That is significant. And the 6th over here didn't do much, but it did do. It was. I guess this was a higher low. This was a higher low candle, but so maybe that stops working now that everyone knows about it, or maybe this is still a significant candle, putting in some kind of a top. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see. The 6th theory wasn't my theory. It was something that someone else noticed and happily passed it along, and I thank them for that. And we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But right now, this definitely could be the first break in Bitcoin. Something we didn't have over here. Something we didn't see. Hey, what's up, Ian? Long time no see. Well, why don't you get in my Slack chat room and we'll be able to chat from time to time. That would be pretty nice. If you guys aren't aware. I just forgot my website name. Go to Real-Crypto here. I think you can see that on the screen. Yeah, go to real-crypto.com if you are interested in staying in touch with a really good community of traders. Pretty much chatty most of the time. It's a really good chat room. Probably one of the best things I've ever done to start that chat room. You can sign up for that here, and it is a free chat room. And yeah, sign up for that. You'll be signed up for my newsletter, which has been out for 6 months, and I still haven't sent out a newsletter. But yeah, sign up for the Slack chat room. It's a lot of fun. And if you guys don't know, you can do that right there. All right, getting back to the charts here. Looks like we're moving lower, a little bit below this trend line. But if we get too much below this trend line, we're in for a world of hurt here, ladies and gentlemen. We're in for a world of hurt. Yeah, it's a little hard to believe it's happening because we've been waiting for this. If you guys have been following my channel, who here has been involved with me for more than 4 months, going back to February, right? Who here has been involved with me for more than 4 months? Ian, thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. How are alts like XLM doing? Well, most alts lately, Ian, have really been their charts have been breaking down, and in the power hour, we've been discussing this a little bit. Let me see if I can pull up. Okay, so we have a spreadsheet here that we've been managing in the power hour. Okay, figures I hit refresh right when it opens up here. We've been discussing this in the power hour, and there's only a few coins that have really been holding up. This used to be it's about 20. Sorry guys, my browser's been pretty slow lately. Sorry about that. FOSTA probably 5 months. December, August, February. Okay, yeah, so quite a few people have been here for a while. We've been talking about the potential. Oh, Zach, you've made me 80K in 6 months at the age of 16. Wow, Zach, that's fantastic. Glad I could help you out. If that's true, thank you very much. I'm super glad if that's the case. That's awesome. Congratulations. Good job. Since I was the first to call the bear market. Well, thanks for saying that. I pretty much was the first to call the bear market in all of YouTube. To be honest with you, I mean, I really wasn't seeing anyone calling for a bear market. I was the only one saying, guys, we went parabolic. This is exactly what happens during a parabolic move. And everyone has given me so much crap. It was hard not to be an asshole for like 3 months. It was hard really just not to be a huge a-hole to everyone. But anyway, so this particular spreadsheet we've been holding, and we've been watching a lot of these coins that we're setting up ever since actually. Well, the first one I know is Shiba. No one's ever quite the first. There's always someone else out there, but anyway, ever since we were kind of cupping here, so about 4 or 5 days now before we really started getting bearish, and this was a longer list, and we've really started. There was about, I think, 2 or 3 coins in here that were A's. Most of them were B's in terms of the chart, and now what we have is we have one A and INS, which is probably, I don't know if it's an A anymore. I haven't looked at it, but we only had a couple of, several B's here, a lot of C's, several F's, and even a couple of D's that are remaining on the spreadsheet. So the altcoin market generally has been, their patterns have just been getting destroyed as of late. So I can show you over here on our trading view thing. We've got, just going through real quick, we got AE, which was taking highs, and it's been rolling over, just getting destroyed. You can see the distribution occurring before Bitcoin rolled over. XRP wasn't looking too bad, looks like, until right now. We've got ZIL. ZIL broke this trend line. That was a big sell signal for us in the power hour. If you guys do like my content and do want more of it, we do actually, I do have a power hour. We do an hour every single day of analysis, and it is a premium service. It's $50 a month, but it's fantastic. We have a lot of fun in it. We do a lot of good altcoin calls, and we've been talking about Bitcoin now for a couple of weeks. And so here's a link to the power hour if you are interested on my website there. But sorry, get back to trading view there. Yeah, so ZIL rolled over. This was a big sell signal for us. Ontology, this was our sell signal, and Ontology was the break of this trend line right here. You can see that worked out really well. We had ADA, which we were involved with ADA actually over this breakout point, and then we didn't really have a sell signal for it up here, but it did start to roll over. I was hoping the market would at least stay steady, but ADA rolled over a little earlier, and sometimes that's hard to get a good sell signal when you want to stay in a coin. The difference in Ontology is Ontology had been involved in a very well-defined uptrend coming up to a prior high, and that's why we were looking for a basing or consolidation, and we recommended distributing coins rather than holding through a basing or consolidation, especially with Bitcoin looking bearish. And then we had ADA here. Like we said, we were involved in this. We were hoping it would just base and go higher, but it didn't. It rolled over. And I forget exactly where we issued the sell signal on ADA. Knowles, we were just kind of watching there, but actually Knowles holding up okay. Knowles really not doing too bad here. Looks like it had a big selling candle, but not really breaking down too much, so that's pretty good. We got back involved in EOS and have been shaking around a little bit, like I think everyone else. BNB I actually sold earlier today. I've been in BNB for a little bit. You know, we got fudded out around here when we broke out on no volume, and then we started going higher on no volume. Really no definitive sell signal in BNB, to be quite frank with you. It basically has just been consolidating this entire time. Still doesn't really have a very well definitive sell signal. This break probably would be one. ZRX, we were talking about possible bottom buying with a tight stop loss. That stop loss would have been hit, but hopefully no one even bought that down there. This has not been a market you want to buy in, so I don't think anyone would have bought that. V-chain, we've been talking about this head and shoulders and V-chain for a couple of days now, and here's the neckline. Looks like that is working out. We talked about possible support at this 200 period moving average on my 2-hour chart. Also, this ultimate low down here. So you can just generally see, I won't go too deep into more of these. I get probably deeper than I wanted to, but you can just generally see the breakdown in most of the coins. The patterns just getting rolled over. We saw TRX getting rolled over. Nano rolling over. Comment Nano isn't very warranted there. You're looking at Walton Coin possibly had a big move, but that failed immediately. You know, Amisago was a community pick that was kind of bad. Waves rolling over. INS didn't do much, and then Theta really broke. Theta was bouncing here this morning, and I'm like, yeah, I don't really want to play this bounce, but there's a possibility it may get up to here somewhere. But didn't even get that, just rolled right over with everything else. So you can see the altcoins have been breaking down. And this is the thing, if you pay attention to the story that the whole market is telling you, all right, if you're looking at one or two coins, you're missing the big picture. You've got to poke around in the coins that have been leading the market recently and see if they're still leading the market, if new coins are leading the market, or if those old leaders that were leading are not even trying to lead again, and the new leaders are breaking down, then usually that leads you to a conclusion that the market may break down. Okay, and that's kind of what we've been noticing a little bit, is all the altcoins are just rolling over, and especially the GDAX coins have been looking bearish. But the market over this past several months it's been so choppy. We've been bouncing off of every area. So I really didn't want to issue a sell signal. I felt it would go lower. I just kind of felt, looking at the charts, it would go lower. And I hope I made that clear in the videos. But, you have to stay neutral. You have to let the market show you the direction. That's kind of what we're doing now. The market's showing you the direction. We're just poking lower. We're just sitting down here. We're happy. We're happy down here. We're happy. Look at that. There's no bouncing. We're just happy down here. So, all right, guys, please go ahead and hit that like button if you haven't already. That would be much appreciated. Go ahead and hit the button. If you haven't subscribed, hit subscribe. Please share the stream too. That would be much appreciated. I do like to spread my message, and I'm not a marketing guy, guys. I'm a trader. So, my channel, my videos aren't necessarily the most well produced. I don't think I speak horribly well compared to some of the other YouTubers, but I believe my message is a little more grounded in fact than some of the other people out there. Not all of them. I'm not saying I'm better than everyone, but anyway, if you like the message, spread it. That's pretty much all I'm saying. Let's get to some of the comments here. I've seen a couple roll in, but I've been kind of going on my soapbox here. I'm going to read a couple here while I take a drink. Wow, Zach, that's fantastic. Started with 300, made 300. Eventually persuaded my DA 5K loan. Traded 2 to 4 times a week with swing trade and buying breakout from Real Crypto webinar, and changed my life. Money make you money. Good job. Good job, Zach. That's fantastic. Upham's been holding. I'm sorry about that, my friend. Yep, Zach, you got to cut those losses quickly. That's exactly true. Your coins are locked now due to the crash from last month. What does that mean? You're scared to sell because you'd be down so much. Is that what that means there, best collection? Will I lose my coins if I don't register my EOS? Roscoe, I'm not 100% sure what the deal is with that, to be honest with you. I do think you probably will lose your coins if you didn't register them. That's my general feeling because the other EOS coins, I don't know if they're going to be valid. Maybe someone a little more that's done a little more research than that can answer that question. But I think maybe some other people have that question as well. Bitcoin Cash seems to be a leader now. Yeah, it is a leader. I think Bitcoin Cash is going to be around, and it is leading. It has been kind of leading Bitcoin a little bit, and it definitely has a more percentage gain than Bitcoin. The percentage moves in Bitcoin Cash have been much greater than Bitcoin, and I've actually been trading Bitcoin Cash as a proxy for Bitcoin while Bitcoin moves. Zach says, where can I short Bitcoins? I believe if you look in the description of the video, I've got a link to BitMEX. Yeah, it's underneath Binance. You can go to BitMEX. That's the place that I use to short because I'm in the United States. I can't short. I can't even use Bitfinex. I know you can short within Bitfinex based on your area, but I use BitMEX. Be very careful with BitMEX though. Like in any type of, it is a leverage trading platform. I don't have any. I probably should do a couple of videos on how to trade with BitMEX because it's pretty technical. I wouldn't jump in directly and just start shorting right away. Do a couple of test trades. Learn about liquidation. I will definitely say pay very close attention to your liquidation price and never, ever get liquidated. If you get liquidated on BitMEX, it is an account destroyer. So if you are inclined to use a BitMEX account, do it with extreme caution and always have a hard stop loss in place. Because if you get liquidated, there's a good, like if you trade on, you can trade Bitcoin up to 100 times leverage, which is insane. And if you trade it on 100 times leverage and get liquidated, your account's gone. The whole thing. So, and if you trade on like a 25 times leverage, you're going to have a good portion of your account just gone if you get liquidated. So, yeah, just a little heads up on that. But if you do want to dive into that territory, go ahead and use my BitMEX link down below. It is an affiliate link, and you actually will get a discount on fees for the first 6 months by using that affiliate link. And if you have any questions, like I said earlier, go ahead and join my Slack chat room here. And a lot of guys there trade on BitMEX as well. You can sign up right here on the front page of my website, real-crypto.com. And that's a free website or a free Slack chat room. Damn it, I missed Extreme Stream. You didn't miss it. I'm still doing it here. We're still here, Gomery, and we're going to talk tomorrow too. So, thank you, Gary. I appreciate that. It's always nice to hear when you do a good job. When would you get back into the market? Well, I would get back into the market when I see big capitulation in Bitcoin. That's pretty much every really big bear market coming off after a parabolic top has a huge capitulation bottom. So we can go back over here to 2014. And so here's the big capitulation bottom in 2014. Extraordinarily high volume, the lowest price. And this price is never going to get touched again. And that's pretty much what I'm looking for. I'm looking to buy down here. Looking to buy right down there. And if you guys are scared on how to buy down there, actually, I'm not going to pump that webinar right now. But anyway, I got a webinar on how to buy that. So if you want to check that out, whatever. But that's when I would get back in. I will be shorting the market probably until that happens. No one can say exactly when and where that is going to occur, but I will be shorting it when we get that or I will be buying long when we get that capitulation point. Super long, super duper duper long. How far do I think Bitcoin will go down, asks Robert Rupp. So I don't have a definitive target. My general area for Bitcoin overall, this is the overall big picture, is somewhere between $2,400 and $3,600. That has generally been the area I've been talking about for 6 months now, 5 months now, something like that. 5 months to 6 months now. I think I've been fairly consistent with that. I think I may have revised it down once. It used to be 3,600, and then I revised it to a range of 24 to 3,600. That's right. And that was based off of this high up here, I think. So I think I revised it once over here, but I've been pretty consistent with that. In the short term here, if you're talking about a short term, that's going to be a little more difficult. There is a potential for a measured move here. I don't know if we're necessarily going to hit it, though. Looks like we're pausing a little sooner. Bitcoin likes to do this. So if the measured move here would take you basically down to 7,000 and change, which would give you a bit of a lower low from here. That's probably a more recent target if you're looking for something like that. But so far we haven't. We did fall out of this bear flag actually right here on the 15-minute, and we fell down. Looks like we're bouncing again already. So looks like momentum's already waned a little bit. Keep in mind we're still within my rectangle here, and anything within my rectangle can still be bounced around. And so this whole area can be chopped into until we definitively break this rectangle. I think that's a little more important than even this trend line, even if those happen in the same bar. Timmy says, I think it's a good time to buy. What do you think? Well, I think a good time to buy is based on your time frame. What is your time frame for that trade? Are you looking to hold this trade forever? Are you looking to hold this trade for a bounce? What's your time frame for the trade? That's really the most important question. I don't think it's a horrible time to buy, to be honest with you, because we could get a bounce here. It's perfectly healthy to have a bounce off of these big trend lines. We may likely bounce off it a couple more times. We'll have to wait and see. But if you give it a 1% stop loss from here, and I don't think that's a horrible trade. I'll take any trade with a 1% stop loss as long as you have a 2 or 3 expectation for a return. I don't think it's too bad. And again, depends on your strategy. It really depends on your strategy. And everyone, you need to keep this in mind when you're listening to people taking in any advice. You have to try to, if they don't let you know what their strategy is, you have to try to ascertain, what is their strategy that they're trying to, what is their analysis is being fed by their narrative as an analyst. And that depends on their time frame. Are they talking 5 years out, 1 year out, 6 months out, 3 months out, 3 weeks out, 3 hours out? What is their outlook? And hopefully they'll give you a couple different scenarios. Hopefully they'll be able to tell you what their outlook is in terms of price action. Mine is generally, like when you watch my videos, ladies and gentlemen, I'll put out a video that says Bitcoin's target is like 7,200. I think I had that video. It was up here. I said Bitcoin's target was 7,200 based off of this flag pattern. And then it came down, went up, and started going up, and everyone's like, oh, real crypto, blah, 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 blah. And then it cracks down to 7,200. You know what I mean? It's like people don't necessarily understand that the market oscillates. And if you see me talking about this move, this bear flag right here, and we get a little bounce up like this, and you're going to leave a nasty comment, not that you guys are, but Um, you have to keep my time frame in mind, okay? You always have to keep the analyst time frame in mind. If I'm talking about this move, you're going to have to give this some time, okay? You're going to have to give it some time to play out. Just a couple of hours and a little upside movement doesn't necessarily mean the move is dead. So, in terms of where do we go from here, is this a good time to buy? I think it depends on your time frame. I think it could be good for a bounce, but it's extreme bearishness. And another thing that I say, and we talk about this in the Power Hour, is that we need more information on immediate moves. We don't know how this is going to play out right now. I can try to guess and sound like a really smart guy and tell you, oh yeah, we're going to bounce here, we're going to come back up here, and or I could say, oh no, we're probably going to consolidate and roll over a little bit. And I do that from time to time, but when these moves happen immediately, like right now, you really just need more. You really need more information. You don't know what's going to happen. Now, what you can do is say, this area right here is where we most recently had a high off of this candle. So this could be a potential area where the trend reverses. You can say something like that. You can say this is the low of the bear flag. So this will be easier to see on the 15-minute time frame. There we go. So you can say this is the low of the bear flag. If we get back above this, that's a bullish sign, and I'll go long. You can say that. That's definitive. But saying definitively down here that you should buy, I think is a lot of hubris and is a little bit less wise, to be honest with you. I think it's a little less wise just arbitrarily saying you should buy right here. I don't think that's the case. You don't have an expectation that we're really going to go higher. There's not enough information here. Now, if we end up with this type of a situation where we have some history and all of this is filled in, then you can have an expectation for something. But until then, I think you're just guessing. Any bullish sign except for our RSI going to close to 19 where it usually stops. I don't see a lot of bullish signs. The thing about the market right now, we're really in an area where, why does my trend line keep going away? This is a very congested part of the chart. Okay, so it's a little difficult, especially if you're a newer trader and don't really have a huge stomach yet for some volatility. This is a very difficult place to trade because we haven't definitively broken down from anything, and this is where people are likely to be chopped around, to the long side and to the downside. This whole area here, if you didn't trade any of this, even this included, if you didn't trade any of this, bravo. Because a lot of people don't have the balls to not trade. We're all involved in trading. So guess what? We think we should take trades. But that's not always the case. Sometimes Sometimes trading is not doing something. Sometimes trading is holding your cash position. Sometimes trading is being long tether for long periods of time. And I think that could be warranted in this type of a market, even right here. So this is a very congested area. We're coming to the end of this symmetrical triangle, and this is generally an area pretty much right here where things tend to happen. Right? Crap, I left clicked or right clicked. So usually not right at the tip, really right anywhere in here is where it starts to happen. If I back out to a larger term time frame, you can see in a lot of symmetrical triangles. Sorry, put a weird line on my chart there. You can see that in a lot of symmetrical triangles, it's this last portion, not quite at the tip, but the last portion where things really start to break down. You can see it right here. This is where it broke down. It doesn't break down right at the end. There's still a bit of open in the tip here. It breaks down a little bit before. And that's just one example. You can see a lot of symmetrical triangles that do this. It's pretty universal. Do I have bounce areas you are looking at on BTC? So this is a bounce area right now, Pato. This big trend line that's been holding Bitcoin up for many months now. This is the area for bouncing. As we get lower, I would say possibly my rectangle here, although I don't have a huge expectation it's going to be necessarily respected that much. But that could be an area for a bounce. Probably also one of these lows. This one at 6620, this one at 6500, and this one at 6450 possibly are good for bounces. Past that, there's, you may get one here at 5800, something like that. But overall, the market's looking bearish, guys. This rollover is not very good. One of the saving graces Vlad was asking about possible bullish signs. It's not a bullish sign, but it leads us to not being as bearish, as the volume here still isn't extraordinarily aggressive. We've still seen higher volume further back in history here. So, I don't view this as extreme aggressive volume, but it's definitely bigger than we've had in recent history. Definitely bigger than we've had in recent history. Wondering where you can buy without worrying about it. If we get anywhere sub like 5,000, I'd say you're probably good for long-term holds. I mean long-term holds. Someone mentioned here earlier about Bitcoin 1,500. I don't see that in the cards. It could happen, but I generally don't see that in the cards for Bitcoin. The price drop is just too extreme. If we get down to 1,500, guys, we're in a bear market for years, to be honest with you. If we see 1,500 in Bitcoin, we're going to see that in 2019. We're not going to see that in 2018. And it's going to take another year and a half to bottom out of that. And we'll probably round out about it in 2020. I don't know. But if we get down to 1,500, we're in a bear market for an extraordinarily long time. How much price action is true? How much is manipulated? It's all true. All of it. Period. End of discussion. At least on like Bitcoin on GDAX, right? I think GDAX does a good job of not letting their orders be spoofed. Well, they may let some order spoofing, but they don't do they don't let people do wash orders. I think they're very good with that with their index. Now, some of the smaller altcoins definitely are manipulated quite often and are quite easy to manipulate. But the larger, like Bitcoin, it's very hard to manipulate Bitcoin. It's very, very difficult because it takes an extraordinarily large amount of money. Also, commonly bringing up a point, BitMEX doesn't serve U.S. customers, though. Just like Bitfinex, you have to use a VPN anyway. Why not just use Bitfinex, which settles in USD and has way more coins? That's a good point there. Well, at least for me personally, Bitfinex really pissed me off when they kicked me out. I was involved in Bitfinex. I was trading on Bitfinex. I had an account there. Most of my money was in Bitfinex. And then one day they stopped letting me trade. And I'm like, you guys go F off. It just really pissed me off. Didn't really sit well with me. I didn't appreciate it. And so that's one of the reasons why I haven't gone through them. I know with BitMEX, you have to sign up using a VPN. I used a Tor browser, actually, not a VPN, and that worked out just fine. And then I log in regular through my browser. Whoa, Robert Rupp. Oh my goodness, lots of comments. How far will Bitcoin go down? Well, thank you for the super chat, Robert. I appreciate that, my friend. I just discussed this a little bit ago. In the longer for Bitcoin, and that still remains right now. I haven't seen any evidence to the contrary, higher or lower. It was 3,600. I did lower it to incorporate 2,400 based on some other price action and some other correlation with the 2014 markets in terms of percentages. But yeah, generally about that 3,600 level. In the shorter term, I'm starting to get real tired here, guys. I'm gonna be calling it quits here pretty quick, probably. So get your last minute questions in. I'm probably gonna kind of go through these relatively quickly. In the shorter term, looks like we're bouncing right now off this trend line, not aggressively, but this is gonna be an area where we're gonna bounce. If we get below this trend line, that's still an if. It's not for certain. It's not for sure, but we have tested this trend line now 4 times, and that could definitely lead to lower prices. If it does break, I don't have a definitive price point to the downside. If you want to do some interesting market analysis, you could take this as a measured move, which I don't think I've actually done this exercise yet. This takes us down to 5,000. If we get a measured move out of this, which is likely, to be honest with you, this gets us down to 5,000, and there's probably still more after that. Trading cryptos with leverage is plain stupid. I agree with that, unless you know what you're doing, and then it's pretty damn cool. Pretty damn cool. Do mining costs set a bottom for cryptocurrency? No, they do not. Miners do not trade cryptocurrency. They buy crypto with cash through the process of mining, and then they sell their coins on the open market to pay for those activities. So they do not swing price in one direction or another. EOS forming a large BTC or USD on EOS on the daily. Yeah, definitely could be a large cup. It's definitely a possibility. I still don't think it's necessarily tradable right here. And you would trade this the same way you would trade anything else over a breakout, which would be off of a trend line like this. All right, so Gary answered the question regarding the EOS tokens. Binance will do it for you if you leave them on the exchange. You will get your EOS tokens free and clear, apparently. Hello, Irfan. How you doing? This trend line looks a lot like a neckline on a head and shoulders pattern. Oh, this one right here? This being the head or shoulder, head, shoulder. Yeah, could possibly look like that. I could see something like that. Need Lambos. Need Lambos. So Jose says, I think lots of bots and stop limits are set up at the bottom of the triangulo. Is that triangle? Is that triangle? So you can see stops, at least the ones on the index or on the order books in the order book. So you don't have to guess about that. Now, in terms of algos and bots, I think it's really funny that a lot of people are talking about algos and bots. People really have no idea what algos and bots are doing. There is some interesting videos out there. I've watched one or two. I forget the gentleman's name on YouTube that talks about, oh, there's algo buying here. I'm like, how the hell do you know it's algo buying? You have no idea what the algos are doing. You have zero clue. You're literally pulling this out of your butt. Literally pulling it out of your butt. At least if you definitively mean that algos are buying it. Now, if you're just kind of using that as a general term, I'll give you that. But when you say algos, I think it's kind of a bit of a selling tactic in my mind, at least for YouTubers. Nobody knows what anyone other than themselves are doing. It's all speculation. So I don't guess what anyone's doing. I don't care what anyone's doing. I really don't care. Don't care at all. I don't care about the Mt. Gox whale. I don't care about Satoshi. I don't care about anyone. I care about the charts. They're going to tell me all the information that I need to know because this is what's real. Everything else is bull. What about another bounce from 6K? Will that be bullish? No. Probably not. So keep something in mind. This is a huge trend line. This is a crazy, crazy big trend line. And when trend lines like this definitively break, like it will if we've gotten down to 6K, the odds are it will continue. All right, this 6K is encompassed within this chart pattern. Is encompassed within the chart pattern. Now, while we may get a bounce out of it or something, I don't necessarily believe it's going to be a huge support level. Zach says, do I recommend you to short your Bitcoins or continue the way I trade? Well, I'm not sure what you quite mean by short your Bitcoins, nor do I know too much about the way you trade. I'm gonna have to abstain from that, my friend. I don't want to give you any advice that's incorrect and harmful to you. And I'm going to be going here pretty soon, so I really don't have time to learn that, unfortunately. If you really want some definitive advice, my friend, to be honest with you, feel free to join the Power Hour. We go over an hour every day. We go very in depth on some trading topics, how to, if you want to talk about your strategy, we'll definitely spend time talking about your strategy. Everyone enjoys those long, in-depth conversations that we do. We've done some on portfolio building. We've done some on different technical analysis points. And 1 hour, 7 days a week. It's a lot of fun. And I would recommend, if you really want to, get involved deeper into some discussion, join that Power Hour. Constantine, Constantine. Sorry there, Consta. Consta says time frame is like 2 years. I don't quite remember what that's in relation to. Okay, that's Bitcoin. So you're wondering about Bitcoin holding it for about 2 years. There's a decent possibility that we're back around this level in 2 years. Yeah, I think that's, at least from the analysis that I've done, I think that's probably okay if you got a 2-year time horizon. Comment on the MACD daily chart for Bitcoin. I guess I can do that. So one thing about the MACD, it's also forming a similar equilibrium type of pattern. Another thing is it's starting to curl over here a little bit. It's also still under this. Sorry guys, my water's gone. It is underneath this middle line, which indicates the kind of general directional movement. So you can see here. Actually, it's much different. You see the middle here, we started to go bullish in the MACD. And we started to, there's not much of a divergence there, just trended with it. But you see we got bullish on the MACD. We have that here a little bit, but then now we're starting to roll back over the other direction. So I don't think it's looking too good. You're welcome, Jasper. Jose doesn't trade for a reason. He's too emotional. You know what? All you got to say is fantastic. Good job for you. One of the biggest things you're going to find as you move forward in your trading, your biggest obstacle to success, and this is 95% of your struggles, is you. The quicker that you understand your tendencies, and the quicker you understand who you are as a trader, the faster you will be profitable. Is it even possible to be consistently profitable with 100x leverage? Um, 100x leverage is insane. It's insane on BitMEX. I tried it a few times, and it's crazy. It's like trying to go into business with a crackhead. You know, it's like going to business with a high crackhead. You're like, look, the guy's going to stock the shelves really well for about 15 minutes, maybe an hour. Eventually, though, he's going to steal everything you have and bleed you dry, maybe even kill you and leave you in the corner. I don't know. Maybe he's a nice crackhead. Maybe he's a mean crackhead. It's hard to tell with some crackheads. So 100x leverage is really crazy. I actually have a 50x position on right now, as a matter of fact, which is still pretty crazy leverage. But I got in from a really good price point, and by really understanding your liquidation position, you can do it fairly safely. So right now my stop loss is in the profit, so I'm going to be profitable in this position. Even if it fully retraces, I will be in a profitable position. So, it's like anything in life. Any tool in any person's hand is good or bad. Just depends on the person. Roscoe, I'm going to buy Twitter. Screw crypto. I've owned Twitter options since February. So I've owned Twitter options since, well, maybe not February. Let me see. All right, come on here. Come on, Thinkorswim. You're making me look like an idiot. There you go. And you're still being slow. I do not know what's going on with my computer. Come on, man. All right. Anyway, yeah, I've been in Twitter options for quite some time. Already bought Twitter. Yuri is saying Bitcoin is going to suffer badly. This guy is right. There you go. Just call me this guy. Al has been talking about it's a great time to buy Bitcoin. Possibly. I say possibly on that. If we break this trend line here, Al, very definitively, if we break that trend line, you're going to have much better times to buy Bitcoin. Okay? Just much better times. And if you know a little bit about technical analysis, Al, and technical analysis isn't just about day trading. I think there's a little bit of a misconception. Technical analysis, you can view it from multiple perspectives, but you can view it from, hey, I'm just gonna trade this. Hey, I'm just gonna, even if you want to buy and hold, there's a place for technical analysis in your trading plan. Okay, it's technical analysis will be whatever you want it to be. It will be that. If you're looking for a way to get into Bitcoin, it'll get you into Bitcoin. If you're looking for a reason to stay out of Bitcoin, it'll give you reasons to stay out of Bitcoin. If you're looking to hold for long term and sell at a great price point, it'll give you a great price point to sell Bitcoin. You just have to do the work. I'm trying to find. Man, you guys are giving me more comments than I can hold up with. I'm just gonna have to arbitrarily call this, guys. About 2:30 over here. I got a lot of crap to do tomorrow, and I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to call it quits, guys. I do want to answer the rest of your questions, but sleep is awaiting. My pillow's missing me right now, so I'm gonna get out of here, guys. Thank you very much for joining me today. Been here a little bit longer than I anticipated, which Kind of usually how it works. But I do want to say thank you for joining me. I do appreciate it. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Hit that alert button so you do get apprised of a video if and when I post one. And join that Slack chat room. We got a great group of community guys there. It's really fun. You guys will enjoy it if you've got no one else to chat with. real-crypto.com. There's the link for the chat room, power hour, webinars, resources, blah, blah, blah. All right, guys, thanks for joining. Stay safe. Abide by some stops. Yeah, there you go. Have a good night. Thank you very much. See you guys next time.